Yeah, no, that's true.
It's a nice little bit of extra money. And also, well, we sort of saw how there can be groups of death in this tournament already. I think Group C definitely proved that, Virtus.pro getting eliminated. So that extra seeding point could actually make a big difference, especially when we have all the other lands coming up. But of course, on screen at the moment, we can see how we got here. Of course, Ukraine getting themselves into the final via going through big Walla loss and a 2-0 over fnatic. So they are actually looking pretty good for a so-called mixed team. People are questioning whether it's possible to do it as a country. I think Ukraine have definitely proven so. Of course, eliminating, well, two very well-known teams.
Yeah.
And on the other side of things, Godsent are now fighting for the sort of, actual teams, if you want to put it that way. Either way, we're not on that match just yet. We are going to be going into Space Soldiers versus fnatic.
Yeah, this is, of course, the Space Soldiers roster we've come to know and love this event, at least. It's fnatic, pretty much as we know them, with the exception of Brolin being in this iteration. So excited to see how this does pan out. Of course, it's going to be the Swedes versus the Turkish. That's always a fun matchup. Now, I don't know if you actually caught the fnatic match earlier on, Tom. Leads me that much more to believe that we are the good luck charm of fnatic.
Yeah, it's true.
We saw them play on Mirage, a map that they've kind of been shown that they are very good at, both at this event and like in the past, obviously. And they had quite a decent lead early on, and then they kind of started to throw things away. It ends up with Team Ukraine coming back, winning out the series 2-0. And I always think, if you kind of go into that and you look at it, I think fnatic, based on how they played yesterday, they could have even been considered the favourites, right?
This is interesting. We've got the veto on the screen at the moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cash being left open for Space Soldiers and not being picked. So that's quite a surprise for me, because their best map has been Cash for quite a while now. They did used to always play Cobble, and they are a very, very good Cobble team indeed. But I have to say, I am quite surprised, even still, for them not to choose this map. They played it and beaten it versus teams like SK. They've obliterated many teams in the past, but they have gone for that Cobble pick. And I have to say, although I do think they're very, very good at Cash, I have always loved watching Space Soldiers on Cobblestone. That may be my favorite team to watch on any map.
Yeah, no, it's very true. I think that the way they approach it is very spot on, especially the main focus thing we're going to see there is the classic Zantara's drop-down control.
But Paz is normally involved in that play quite heavily,
true.
And he is not here.
Although in some iterations they actually use Calyx to try and help out and drop along with Zantara.
No. I mean, what would they? The normal play would be that Paz sort of goes over towards the broken wall and just tries to explode out onto the site. He normally takes away all of the vision, and then that's where Zontares gets that opening. So that's what I want to see if that will actually play a part. Calyx, yeah, you are right. He is normally with him. Either way, we're not on that map. We are on the choice of fnatic. Straight in, Flusher is going to have himself a dirty Deeg, and it's Calyx to spot 4 players walking up towards that A site. One will be lurking in the back lines in the form of JW, and already Zontares is going to find one. 3 quick kills come in fact, for Space Soldiers.
Yeah, this bomb hasn't been allowed to cross. Golden and JW left 2 versus 4. JW has flanked all the way around through B, but that doesn't matter when you're buried 6 feet under. Golden left 1v4, has taken down the first. They're going to keep pushing into him, and Space Soldiers, they win out that pistol round very convincingly. And as you said, Tom, Cash pick doesn't come through, but Mirage and Cash are basically the same map anyway, so that doesn't matter.
You're a bad person. You're a bad, bad person. We are going to have a pause called. I'm going to imagine that's of the technical nature.
I mean, Space Soldiers wanted to get a really early tactical pause in, perhaps?
Yeah, after winning the pistol, they've got to come up with their next strat, right?
No,
but,
it will be a technical. So that gives us a little bit more time to speak about this, I think. Because once again, I said this yesterday, Tom, it's always nice when you get a good old technical, have some time to speak about it.
Yeah, it was weird, because we hadn't had sort of any technical up until the point where you said that. And then we got quite a few in that one game.
Yeah. I mean, I still think it only spanned, like, at the most 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no. But still more so than we had throughout the whole tournament. Definitely not a day's worth.
No, definitely not, Tom. Definitely not.
Either way.
So,
expecting some investment here from fnatic. No bomb plant for them in that round, which, considering they do barrel on towards that A site with some utility as well, it is quite surprising to not see any sort of real impact. a lot of that does come from the quick rotations brought in by Space Soldiers. Space Soldiers actually are a team that have been very happy to play Mirage in the past. I think takes a lot of sort of individual skill, which this team has an abundance of, but also aggression, which I think watching Zontara sort of play in that connector spot, when he does go for those aggressive peaks into middle, he really can just be a burden to play against. We know what this guy can do. Still, there have been people saying like this guy's online. And I'm like, have you ever watched Zontara's play on LAN? He is absolutely ridiculous. We saw some standout performance from throughout this tournament so far. Unfortunately, not so much in the game we saw prior, where they were, of course, sent into this lower match, this third and fourth match. But we are back in, Harry. We do have ourselves the pistols forced up, and only a single rifle for Space Soldiers, so a little bit of risk taken to try and earn some extra cash.
Yeah, it's going to be 4 players over in mid. Flusher. In the meantime, it will be heading on in through lower tunnels. Actually, 3 players out mid with Flush having support from JW. Smoke's rain into window, and now they're going to look to try and boost a man on up. It's going to be JW sent in. Where's that flag on a desk space? Zontara is able to pick that back up in return. Now Engine looks to take up position in windows. Zontara hasn't been dealt with just yet. Brolin tries to do it, but Zontara able to take himself 3. It all falls to Flusher. Right now in connector. Major flanking around from behind. Should be able to mop this up as he peeks into it. Flusher caught with a lengthy reload on the CZ, and that is Space Soldiers in with their second round. fnatic here don't have any money to invest. It will just be the flat eco. And a real shot for Space Soldiers to try and make some money.
We are going to see Engine looking like, oh no, he is actually going to buy up a rifle. I was wondering if he would just go for the CZ. We've seen quite a few players going for just a pistol. Well, actually, the main one being JW, when they have got that sort of second round win under their belt. Zontara, this is what I'm talking about though, just the aggression into middle. In this round, it isn't so impressive, as there isn't anything on the other side, though Golden will actually be able to pick up 1 and somehow gets a second as well. This is already far too costly. That's both rifles actually dropped, and I think Major realizes that he does not want these falling into the hands of his opponents. The nade isn't going to pay off. There's already quite a successful amount of damage. Nice shot from Calyx, though, will remove Flusher from the action. Sneak coming in over towards this site, and there is actually a chance to hit that cross. Letco just going to try and play the bait game as they do want to get that bomb onto the site, and just about going to do it. However, I think, oh, no, never mind, they will get it down. This is a huge success. 2 kills, a bomb plant, Major even going to go down as well. This is getting a little bit too close for comfort. Finally, Calyx will be able to shut things down, and there is another rifle to be found, which I think is going to be done by Despe. Oh, actually, maybe a little bit too far away. Oh, no, never mind.
It's right there, Tom.
No, I
it was
thought
at his feet, Tom.
I got the players mixed up. So I thought the man defusing already had the rifle, and then it was the other way around.
I was going to say, when you said it, I was thinking, does Despe have tiny T-Rex arms that prevent him from lowering down and pick the gun up that was at his feet?
All right. Everyone makes mistakes, Harry.
Look at this, Tom. Interesting buy early on. Double AWP going to be coming in for Space Soldiers. That's to try and counteract this AWP up on JW. He's going to be looking to take that out towards mid. Rushes through the smoke at short. Finds that frag to Despe. Now Zontara lies in wait inside of connector. Hasn't been able to get anything back in return, so JW is allowed just to slip on out with the man advantage.
So many players who can AWP on the CT side. I was quite surprised to see Major actually picking one up in this round. I would more expected it to be Engine, or especially on the CT side, someone like Calyx, but never mind. The in-game leader clearly showing that he does have some AWP prowess. Takes down JW. Will be retrieved by Lecro, so we are going to have all of these weapons just being juggled around at the moment. T-side do have themselves a decent amount of mid-control. And a player probing over towards the ramp to try and find something, but as the smoke fades, he is forced to go back. It's going to be Golden jumping into the window. Spot that there's nobody in ladder room, and Zontaris does have to be careful because he doesn't have much of a flank to cover. He's going to be blinded in the end, and now Golden can pounce, finds one, spots Engine as well, leaving him in the corner. He will actually peek and now has the chance to try and survive, but the smoke is not going to protect him. A double from Major, manages to turn it back, and it's a 1 versus 1 now. Calyx waiting in CT.
Lekra going to fake out the plant. Time's taken away from him, and Calyx finds the shot. That Space Soldiers in with their 4th round. fnatic, they come so close to getting it done, but they have fallen short. The AWP carried forward means that it's going to be kept up on Despae. fnatic, they have to force buy down here to try and make something happen. Right now, a little bit worrying that flusha is struggling to find form early on here. Yesterday, he was the key player for fnatic, along with Golden. This round, Brolin has already been toppled. Man advantage taken early on at 4 Space Soldiers. Bomb dropped back very passively. fnatic desperate to try and find an edge somewhere, but instead it's going to be them teetering on the knife's edge. Zontaris finds himself one over in mid. Space Soldiers looking comfortable in this round.
A Major will spot one. These are exact sort of plays that Zontaris just seems to make. Like, no fear. P2000 headshot onto Golden. And when this guy is in a confident mood, there are very few players who can actually stop him. And it's something that fnatic will have to do quickly, because if he's allowed to just keep pushing out of this connector aggressively, it could be a problem. But flusha will put an end to his reign of tyranny and leave that M4 actually in the hands of the Swedes. So there's a chance for him to at least try and do some damage here. However, Calyx will be able to trade, and only 1 man dropped for Space Soldiers means that their money is now going to start to grow. However, there will be a buyback up. No AWP for the T side, interestingly, although they could have actually afforded one. So maybe suggesting that they're going to go for a bit of a faster play in this round.
Well, now the buy is going to be able to come in from fnatic. Interestingly enough, Tom, there's no AWP in sight, and they could have afforded to get one. That's going to me, suggest a faster play. Brolin pushing on in. He's the man to open up. JW going to be in with one more. Zontaris still resides here in Sandwich. Does find damage, but that's it for him. And that is the round either way. fnatic telling them to get there first on the board. This is where hopefully they can start to chain some rounds together.
And that's actually going to be a pain for Space Soldiers. They don't have a huge amount of money. Well, they've got enough that they could have risked it, but they've decided instead invest in some pistols, make sure they can get the full buy and look to try and break back in the next round. It will mean, for some of the players at least, they can still afford Kevlar behind what they've got. And, well, the main thing here for fnatic is trying to reduce the amount of losses that they'll have versus the pistols. May expect there to be a buy in this round. There's actually 4 players over on this site. A quick trade will already net an AK-47 and a lot of damage done onto Lekra, so they do have to be quite careful here. I think they've sought out the fact that there is a stack over on this A site. However, while rotating, we will see the CT side look to fall off a little bit. I'm hoping that AK will be juggled into the hands of someone who does actually have some Kevlar. Zontaris not too far away, but ATs, after finding themselves that initial advantage, now going to be switching up the way they're playing this round. As said, they now know that it isn't a full investment. Major will be up close. It has been this battle between him and flusha so far. Major has been coming out on top most of the time, but bear in mind that flusha hasn't had a rifle for a lot of these rounds, and there is a severe advantage for flusha in this situation. 45 seconds left on the clock, as they will now look to try and retake some control in Palace as well. And mid will be pushing down through from Brolin and support from Lekra.
Yeah, they've got 30 seconds. Time is working against fnatic for the time being. They have to try and make their mind up, and it will be B they decide to head into. Noise made by Golden over here on the A-bomb side, but it all falls to Major to try and keep fnatic at bay. He falls to flusher, and that's that B-bomb site. Overrun. Engine's left 1v4, just gonna look to try and save the AK into the coming round. Just sneaking away over here towards A. fnatic in with their second. Keep 4 players alive as well. That's always good for this T-side economy, giving it a chance to build up. Yeah, Spaceho just can't afford to buy into the next round anyway. This is probably going to go over to Xantares. He's the man who's a little bit strapped for cash in the team. Means he can't get that much more utility. They can go ahead and field the AWP as well. They're going to bring that out straight away. Despe's the one to pick it up. Xantares throwing the... actually an M4 across. Engine wants to keep the AK. And still no AWP in sight for fnatic.
No, not really had too much of a reason to bring it in as of yet. And the successful rounds that they've had have been down to sort of just fast pushes, even if they have been later in the rounds, just building up and then rushing into the site, which doesn't really warrant an AWP. Also, JW is probably one of the original players of just being willing to switch off this AWP whenever he likes, because he is a very strong rifler as well. Despe still looking to try and find something in middle. Timing shot isn't going to work out for him, and JW now looking to try and probe into the connectors. Xantares actually playing anti-flash, will go down. Not expecting JW to just dry peek into the angle, and gives that man advantage over towards the T side. A lot of utility being expended. Major looking to break back. Manages a first. It's the dink onto Golden as well, but Brolin will even things up quickly after. However, he's left on just 6 HP. Still looking to try and push in. Engine rounding the corner. Knows where his opponent is. However, Brolin will actually be able to fall back and look to try and rejoin the rest of his team. And JW goes back to leading the charge in this connector. Still multiple players on this A site with only Major on the other side of the map. And he is sort of playing almost a retake strategy at the moment. Just sat further back towards the market. However, with no presence shown over towards this A site, he is actually going to dedicate himself over to bench.
Comes JW. Engine does rally shots down range. He's actually going to start to rotate off from B. Now going to start to push back in. He's only got to stand here for 15 seconds. Bomb gets dropped at short. There's no time left in this round. And look, there you go. Brolin full space. So he's going to be with a 6th now, Tom. Looking good here on their CT side. Of course, this is the map pick of fnatic. They've had kind of mixed results at it throughout this event. Whenever you and I have seen them on it, they've always looked very strong up until now. And even when we saw them play versus Team Ukraine just moments ago, they had an early lead in this map and then threw it all the way towards the end. This time they've struggled to even get that much going for them.
Yeah, I do have to say, it's normally fnatic on the CT side, which is where they show their true strength. So still got hope for them yet. However, already this round is not going to start off well. Despe with the repeat has to be careful. Remember, Xantares loves these sort of aggressive pushes into the connector. So fnatic, well, they have come to expect him around this area. Although I think after the pick, he has actually decided to fall back a little bit. Despe will just hold outside the window. Obviously, a couple of rounds ago, we did see Golden actually just jump in and open up the round from this very position. So it's important that it's not just completely left. Nice entry from Golden straight away, though. Xantares is going to go down for the 2nd round in a row without having any impact whatsoever. Calyx trying to do work with the CZ, and it's going to come down to Engine. Finds the first, transfers onto the 2nd. Flusher low as well. With JW even on below half HP. The bomb dropped in the middle of the site is going to make things very difficult for the Swedish side indeed, and their money is not going to support them in the next round. So these two players, the two legends left, need to do some work.
Yeah, there should be no way for them back into this round, but they're going to start to edge in anyway. Flusher, man on the entry, has to try and make magic happen. Major peeks into it. Now JW's left 1v3. Major, looks like you might want to go hunting. Holds close in the sandwich. JW, Engine, first man down, now turns to Despe. Only 10 seconds, Major finishes him off, and a stellar round there from Engine in particular with that spray transfer. That single-handedly almost locks that in. And then, of course, having everyone so set up there, just perfect for the bomb to drop inside of that A-bomb site for them. They had that trifecta set up, locked it down. Going to be a 7-2 lead for Space Soldiers. No money here for the Swedes, means it's going to be a good old-fashioned deco.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out that we always talk about how there's a huge amount of depth within this Space Soldiers roster. Top of the board at the moment will be Major, the in-game leader, 13-4, having a stellar performance. Engine just behind him, and then it is sort of the normal candidate of Zontares. Nice shot from JW. Major will be out of the action for this round at least. And of course, Space Soldiers, again, they're yet to build up too much money themselves. Despe will at least give them that man advantage once more. Lecro, we've seen many a clip with him with this weapon. Unfortunately, he's not going to expect the further aggression. First shot comes in for Brolin, a second as well. Once again, making things look possible, and he's retrieved an AWP. JW, in the meantime, is looking to try and push in towards this B site. There is absolutely nobody here, and Brolin is just selling this fake. And Space Soldiers are falling hook, line, and sinker. He will, however, go down, but JW has a chance.
Yeah, it's a 1v2 will be required for JW. He's netted himself an AK now. Zontares an Engine. Going to be clearing this very methodically. JW, all the pressure's on. Going to be sneaking in. JW still holds close inside of the site. Zontares walks by JW. He gets the first, but not the second. Engine's able to trade things back and locks in an 8th round for Space Soldiers. Bomb plant, very valuable to fnatic. They can go ahead and buy up into this round, and now they can get AWPs aplenty. They haven't been too keen to pick it up. This could be the time that we see them go for the change. And yeah, going to be thrown over to Flusher. He's got the spawn for mid. Going to look to try and get that early peak.
Interestingly, Despe actually on a rifle for this round, and the amount of damage that was done in the last, that was actually a very successful round for Fnatic. As you said, they made themselves a decent amount of money, but I think the more important factor, being that they do have a decent amount of loss bonus, is that they actually did a huge amount of damage to the Turkish side. Zontares, here he is again though, in this connector, starts things off, finds the first. JW will go down as well. Eventually there's a trade. Golden looking to try and turn things once again, but Despe's hiding. Finds a first, leaves Golden alone, will still be fighting back, and we have seen this man in clutch situations aplenty. 1 versus 2. Has managed to retrieve himself a second flash. A little bit of extra utility for him to play with. Major will just be holding this cross with Engine up close to try and retrieve this bomb. Is not going to be easy. Pot flash goes out. We'll look to try and spray through the wood, which is actually pretty close to where Engine currently sits. However, Major is not going to miss a shot. A 9-2 scoreline. Fnatic, once again, they're going to be in trouble when it comes to the economy, and may just look to go for some pistols once more. But I feel like there has to be a pause sooner rather than later from the Swedish side, because this is starting to get out of control.
Yeah, this isn't the Fnatic you and I had seen, Tom. This is the Fnatic that Connor and Scrawny have seen. That's the same people.
Connor and Scrawny.
Connor and Hugo. I'm very tired. Here we go. 9-2 is the scoreline, Tom. Fnatic force buying down what they can. Sometimes it did feel like that duo was Connor and Scrawny, didn't it?
Scrawny and Scrawny, yeah.
Smokes and flashes. Raiding in towards this A-bomb site. Calyx. That nade. Gonna get rid of Lecro. Brolin. Ooh. Okay, Zontares. Here's some jump across. Doesn't see him push through, but the bomb has made its way into B once again. It's worked out for JW. I felt like we're seeing a repeat of the previous round, Tom. Only this time, it's a 1v5 that's going to be required.
Flusher. He's trying to hold off one player for JW, but he can't even manage that. JW has to do the literal impossible. He's made some money. but that will be all. Space Soldiers keep the round flawless. I think they'd probably take that for a bomb plant, as in all honesty, fnatic would have been buying back into this anyway. As said, they do have themselves the MAC loss bonus at this point. The problem is they need to actually get themselves some rounds on the board. Only really JW has been having any level of impact in a lot of these rounds. We saw an attempt by Brolin and Golden as well, but not anything that rewarded them with any results. Despe actually going to keep this MP9. I suppose they are doing very well at the moment. They have enough money that realistically he can rebuy. And Major, well, it seems like he's taken the primary AWP role in this map at least.
Yeah, he's been doing fairly well with it. Now over here in mid, 3 players out for fnatic. This is where you could use the man like Major. Despe's gone down. But there's Major, able to find the equalizer onto Flusher. Centaurus, there is a smoke down in mid. The cover off window, but it's going to start to dissipate any second now. Major still holds over at short. JW going to be locking down the angle. Major doesn't want to peek out into this. Centaurus just going to start to creep on round. Catches Golden with a smoke in hand. Just going to bloom a second too late. Man advantage taken for Space Soldiers. And Major still inside of this B-bomb, so that has been a real problem for fnatic. Going to go ahead and fall back, play things passively from the shop window. Hope to nail that one on the cross. Brolin does sneak on by. So he'll be playing the retake here as, well, Bomb's still yet to manage to make it into the site. And now the rotation's pouring on in. Centaurus, first man in, first man down. 3 versus 3 in the afterplant.
Already Brolin is actually going to manage to find a second, and a missed shot and a quick couple of kills ends the round as fnatic are back on the board after a lengthy hiatus. As said, there's still money for Space Soldiers to buy, but they do lose this round, then there's actually that chance for fnatic to still get themselves 5, which, as said, it's been the CT side of Mirage that's been stronger for quite a while. I still remember the comeback that they managed versus Astralis last year in Kiev for WESG. A ridiculous run of rounds. I think they ended up with a 13-2 half or something insane, so it is definitely possible that these Swedish guys can bring this back, but they're going to want to win this round and at least give themselves a little bit more of a lifeline, a little bit more wiggle room to try and fight this versus Space Soldiers, who are not going to be letting their foot off the gas anytime soon. Either way, here goes Zontares once again, but I think he may have come a little bit too predictable, as he will be taken down by Brolin waiting for that push. It leaves the B site fairly open, but they do actually have this boost in play. Not necessarily so common. Major is just going to go for the jump spot, but doesn't actually find out 2 information. It's the Molotov that will actually give things away. Smoke will go down. Engine's able to pick up 1 as the split comes in. Golden with another. Major now left alone on the site with a huge amount of work to do. Players just pushing in around the corners, but they've given some time for rotations to come in. However, still, Major will fall with no impact and leave Despe and Calyx in a horrible situation.
There's the opener, though, from Despe, and that's going to mark the attempt from Space Soldiers to try and make this a reality. In they go. Golden's fallen. Trade out from Flusher. Despe sent reeling back. Flusher finds 2 at the end, and fnatic, they are going to be in with the 4th round. The AWP picked up and carried forward. And quite critically done here from fnatic for them to win that round out, as Space Soldiers now will be on to a force buy for the last round of the half.
Ten to 4. Last round of the half. Bit of a jumble sell, but I think there's actually a gun in spawn, so if somehow Space Soldiers do end up getting all the way through, they'll be rewarded with a present. Brolin is going to be up close. Players pushing into the angle. Calyx goes in, and that's a worthy trade, as it will net a rifle eventually when Calyx can find it. Flusher has been spotted in middle. Zontares is still playing in the same position as before, but we'll actually look to try and rotate around a little bit, turn this into a bit more of a 2-2 split, and that's mainly because of the aggression that's come out all the way through. Bomb going to be rotating. Calyx just going to miss the timing, and because of that, all of his teammates falling on the site that currently has no bomb on it. And even so, there's a flank coming in from JW as well. It's looking bleak for this Space Soldiers side. Only Calyx remain, doesn't have a kit, and he's in a 1 versus 4.
He has worked his way up from behind. Lekro, first man to take the fight, wins that out. fnatic able to finish this half out 5-10. But that's still a very good half from Space Soldiers. Tom, you kind of mentioned earlier, fnatic, we saw them do better on their CT side. They are going to need that now more than ever, though. And a strong start in the pistol, definitely the way they want to go into this second half. Continue, start as you mean to go on, sorry. And that would help in bringing them back to a potential 8-10 scoreline, at which point things really aren't out of the question. For Space Soldiers, a win in the pistol round now would make a huge difference, as it could see them head on forward to a 13-5 scoreline. Don't worry, we're not that biased. We haven't just gone and swapped the scores around. I'll update the second the cinematic ends. Done.
Yeah. Sorry, Swedish fans. Either way, we are going to have all of the T side pushing over towards this A site. A couple of flashbangs from Major to be thrown in to try and leave these players blind. And Brolin is going to be left completely blind over towards the stairs. He's pushed back. The smoke leaves him isolated, but he still manages to get one. Eventually, Engine will be there to trade one back. JW already tagged within inches of his life. And another nice shot from Engine, starting things off strong in this pistol round and leaving both players somewhat isolated. Major seems to know that JW is sat in this corner and being so low on HP, can't really afford to peek out. And the second he does, Major takes the kill, leaving Lekro with so much left to do. Engine finds his third, and Zontares will pick up the last to win the pistol for Space Soldiers. A strong start on their T side and a needed force buy win from fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, Engine is roaring to life right there in the pistol. He's been the key player right now for Space Soldiers. Of course, I actually remember when he was kind of brought back in, or at least phased back into the roster, there was kind of a very mixed opinion on that move. But I think he's done very well within this Space Soldiers roster.
Well, he had to sort of break the trend of a lot of fans wanting to see Woxic brought into this roster, because everybody was saying that that would be the roster that would end up as sort of like the Turkish superstar team with him as the AWPer. And Major then goes and builds a team where he says we don't necessarily need a dedicated AWPer, and it has been working very, very well. It's a shame that Paz can't be at this event. I believe he has some sort of family issues, so I hope whatever is happening there gets sorted, because I would love to see him back in the team. But either way, the job has been done by Space Soldiers. They've qualified, and they're looking to try and get themselves this third place. JW does a lot of damage. In fact, Despe and Engine tagged very low indeed. They are going to juggle some weaponry around. Zontares will be there to open up again. Still two more players. Make that one more player on this site. Although rotations have fully come in from fnatic. A flank will be there from Major as well. However, I'm not sure it will play that much of a part, because these players will drop very quickly indeed. 12-5, Space Soldiers, they win themselves that conversion round. And what that means is it's likely fnatic, unless they do something utterly crazy here, will have to fight back from 13-5.
Yeah, I mean, something above and beyond insane time would be required with these vanilla pistols. It's going to be a chance for Space Soldiers to make some serious money with these 3 SMGs. JW takes his little peek out in the mid. Does actually tag Engine down to 46 HP through the smoke. That's not bad, but now Brown's able to get one. The SMGs find 3 frags in a matter of seconds. Just JW and Lekro remain. The bomb plant going to come on in for Space Soldiers as they waste no time looking to try and lock this round in. JW goes for the knife once again.
He got 2 yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then Flusher had 1 as well.
USPs do a little bit of damage. They take 2 of the SMGs down. But now the buy comes in for either side. Space Soldiers most likely not going to look to upgrade that Mac 10 on Major, although maybe. Going to get thrown over to Engine. I think he has the I think he has a closer spawn for, I mean, you'd imagine mid. I can't see.
Oh, either way, it is going to be rifles galore on every other player. JW going for the spray through the smoke isn't going to net himself anything just yet. And a lot of that Fnatic utility, in fact, nigh on all of it, is already gone, looking to try and take this fight in middle. Despe, he's a one-tap king, normally with an AWP, but he starts things off onto JW. The Mac 10 comes into play as well, with Engine just trying to cause havoc. I don't think he's going to win this battle over onto short, but counter nades from his teammates will allow him to get out of there. Bomb is looking to be retrieved, and flusha no longer has that chance to trade just yet, and may even look to try and go aggressive here, as they are now a man down. All of their utility is gone. There isn't a kit, so it is just going to come down to sheer individual talent if Fnatic are going to be able to steal this round away. The push is going to be back through this connector. Golden is the main man on the scene. A quick rotation is available from Flush, who's still waiting in that window, but his presence will be spotted by Zontaras, and the rest of the team are going to gather up. Flusher close, but no cigar, and leaves Golden with a horrible task at hand. He's got to try and stop these remaining players, and with only 14 HP, it's not happening. Lecro now is the only one left, and he will fall as well. 14-5 Space Soldiers. Absolute domination as they do manage to win themselves that buy round, and now Fnatic have that chance to either save and go for OT with 10 rounds in a row needed, or force the issue here.
You know how to force up, Tom. They have to make it happen with this scrambled buy. It's going to be Brolin and Golden with the SMG. JW has himself a scout. Going to be looking to try and do damage with that over a mid, but he'll find no such luck as Despe. Oh, going to go in that Molotov for quite some time. His tag low, but Brolin's already fallen. Golden goes down shortly after in this A-bomb site. Looking to get taken early on. If you're Fnatic here, you find yourself in a tricky spot, especially a Major flanked all the way into B. They've got no idea he's there. And you could even say they're tempted to start to think about saving already, and then that's where Major becomes a real problem. JW falls down in CT. Flusher and Lecro going to start to push on in. Lecro goes down. Flusher's left 1v4. Does manage to get himself the AK. In with a second. Okay, Flusher. Now perhaps you start to believe Major should shut him down here. Oh, is he going to go for the knife? Yeah.
Oh, it comes back to bite Flusher in the end. We saw him get a knife kill yesterday of Major. Well, there is no monetary value in that kill whatsoever. There's so much cash on the Space Soldier side. That was just for pure evil on the side of Major. 18-8. He has $13,000, so the extra $1,500 really made no difference at all. Now, Space Soldiers with 10 map points. A long road back needed. Another jumble sail buy bought up from Fnatic. A mixture with a couple of rifles. Flusher looking for his revenge. Pushes up mid. You've angered the Beast, and the Beast comes biting. 2 kills. Zontaras and Despe go down. Major will be there to trade, and actually opens up on towards his B site. JW's found another in the meantime. Calic's going to have to go big here, and it will be Golden now to leave Major alone. He has the B site. Unfortunately, he does not have the bomb. Question is, can he get this 1v3? Takes down Flusher yet again. 2 rounds back to back. He's given himself a decent chance.
Yeah, he has to go ahead and get that bomb. And JW and Golden are about to discover it. That's where things get tricky now for Major. He's been key to Space Soldiers in at this map. And as he starts to push on up through mid, Golden is there to look his way. Spots the man down in middle. Nade goes out. 43 seconds left. Still plenty of time for him to work with. He's going to start to go round. Golden's gone down. Now it's just JW left. Both players dead in one shot. That Molotov is perfect. Keeps Major away that much longer. JW, he's sweating bullets at this point. Going to go ahead and get the hell out of there. Major, if he pushes in now, he gets that bomb, but
he doesn't know.
He's going to go ahead and go for it. Don't think there's enough time for him to get this down. It's going to come down to the wide. JW's already started to rotate around. Has to be cautious.
He's just got it. But the problem is JW has played this so perfectly that it may not matter anyway. Never mind. Just off by a second. Close. Not quite enough. Major There we go. The BM begins. And so does the attempt at a comeback. 15-6. Money's still going to be absolutely ruined for Fnatic. JW will at least be able to drop one, and their rifles will slightly increase to what we saw in the previous round. But as said, so much money already built up for Space Soldiers means that they are going to come into this one with a bye. 21-9 for Major in this match. He has been incredible, and Engine, he's the only one above him at the moment, 23-9. Either way, we are just looking at this ace setup. A burst coming straight out of Palace. Engine finds the opener onto Golden, already gone from the action. Brolin trying to hide on the edge of this smoke. There's two players around this corner. The flashbang, the first one at least, was perfect, but the second one leaves the T's blind, and actually the bomb has now been dropped. Flusher looking to try and take this into his own hands, finds two, but again, a third round in a row that Major has managed to end the same Swedes. Live Flusher, or JW, sorry, burning in the corner. Now only two of them left.
Yeah, it falls to Lekro and JW to try and keep the dream alive here for Fnatic. Space Soldiers go ahead and start to retreat away. They know how close they are. They don't want to risk throwing this round away. They want to end this here and now on map 1. JW. Gonna start to peek on out. Sataris finds the opener, and the second spray transfer pulls through, and that is going to be the round the way of Space Soldiers. They win out map number 1, 16-6. That was Mirage, the map pick of Fnatic. And now we're going to be heading into Cobble, Tom. A very good map for Space Soldiers.
Yeah, one that I love to see them
great.
on. Yeah, it's a map I absolutely love watching Space Soldiers on, and well, 16-6, an absolutely dominating performance from the Space Soldiers side. Of course, Fnatic are going to need a comeback if they want to steal away that third place spot. Either way, we are going to find out after a short break.